What's up, guys and gals, and Merry Christmas to all of you Yona fans. You guys know who you are. This is a fantastic review for Chapter 201 of Akatsuki no Yona, also known as Yona of the, and sing it with me, ladies and gentlemen, Yona of the Dawn. Yona of the Dawn, Chapter 201. This should have been Chapter 200. Can we all agree on that? If you have any inkling about the milestones and what was leading up to this and stuff and the disappointment and my stream and stuff, go check that out. Then milestones should not be as significant as we make them out to be. But of course the fan base in the community makes milestones into something bigger than what they are. Sort of like an expansion on what they truly are. But isn't it so funny and ironic that a chapter like this drops literally after the lackluster chapter 200. And then we get chapter 201 and it's like, this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is chapter 201. And, you know, I was going to do a read-through of this chapter, but I think we've all, like, reread this chapter, you know, like 4, 5, 6 times already, right? I had to read it 3 or 4 times. I don't want to miss anything, and I probably will. But I know my fan base and my subscribers for Yona. I know why you're here, and you guys are always on the ball with these long paragraph comments that I always try to respect and get to as much as I can. And I know we'll have this as an open discussion anyways. Right? We will. So what a way to end off the Yona chapter, because apparently we won't until the first week of January. This is the last chapter of the year. So 201, forget the milestone. Chapter 201 is a milestone in the end of the year chapter, and it was fire because there were some things in here that at first I was like, okay, I didn't like, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, they fixed it, and okay, I don't like this, okay, it's fixed. There was a lot here. It was simplistic. You know what we all expected? We all expected soo-won and Hawk to talk, right? Soo-won and Hawk, they were going to have this big, epic talk, and they were finally going to sit down, like, side to side, have a cup of tea, staring at each other from a elongated table sort of idea, and having a very tense moment. It was going to be a really big chapter. We did not get that, right? We did not get that. We got the actual opposite of that. What we ended up getting was the end of the last chapter, of course. Hawk confirms what a lot of people did as well, that I didn't really register when I was doing my live stream. But soo-won did not notice Hawk, did not even notice that Hawk was around when he caught Yona on the stairs. So after this, he said, like, when did that guy ever look that weak? And he says all this to jae-ha. He says, you know, the king, he looks so weak. You know, soo-won, he's never looked that weak. He didn't even notice me. What is going on? What's going on? Is he sick? Is he pale? Is that why? That's why that she was substituting for him at the meeting. That's why this. That's why that. Hawk's putting all the pieces together, and jae-ha even thinks to himself, like, yeah, you're pretty sharp yourself. And then they sort of separate ways. And here's where. At first, this was my first big blunder. At first, when I was reading this chapter, I was like, I had to carefully check each page and then go back and check each page and go back. So I was like, they didn't just do that to me. They didn't just do that. I am a Hawk fanboy, ladies and gentlemen. You guys all know this. I'm a huge Hawk fanboy. Second favorite character. So, right up here is Hawk. And Hawk can't be killed by anybody. Hawk is the Thunder Beast. When he gets mad, when he gets that dark, you know, expression on his face, you know shit's going to go down. You know he'd beat up the dragons if he had to. Even Zeno once stated, I don't want to fight the mister. He's scary. Zeno can't die by literally anything Hawk can do. But Zeno doesn't want to spar or fight with the mister because he's scary. Literally, Hawk is the only person Zeno doesn't want to fight. An immortal dude doesn't want to fight this guy. So when they introduced that guy from the very first chapter with the whole eye and the, you know, sort of thing at Yona, they introduced one of the sword masters of soo-won, one of the close confidants of yu-hon. We got Hyori, I believe. Hyori. Hyori is, you know, that dude with the weird scar on his face or tattoo and all that stuff. And he just, boom, and attacked Hawk. Now, I thought, first and foremost, impressive that Hawk actually managed to, because it's Hawk. He managed to get his sword up in time, and Hyori was really like, damn, this dude stopped my sword. Bang, I was like, all right. But, I mean, he kept coming at him, and he managed to wound Hawk and stuff. But once again, you got to remember, first off, surprise attack, not trying to take away from this dude. I know this dude is being set up as just as strong as yu-hon, even stronger than Hawk possibly. It's being set up that way, that this would be the most difficult battle Hawk will ever fight. And I understand that, but it really sucks when we're showing how overwhelmed Hawk is, because Hawk in anger mode, Hawk in war mode, he's the Thunder Beast. But anyways, I'm getting tongue-tied here. I'm just fanboying, and I'm trying to explain my reasoning here that Hawk is going to eventually fight this guy to the death. Hawk is going to kill this guy, eventually, for whatever reason. Or they're going to have a match and he's going to outright win. But here, I was getting worried. Not because he was doing damage. I expected this dude to make Hawk bleed. And he did. And he was fighting him. And, he was parrying and stuff, but he still slashed the gauntlets. Right. Boom, and all that panels. Then all of a sudden, we see Hawk knocked out in a jail cell. And I'm like, and sorry for my phone. Yeah, that does not sit well with me, ladies and gentlemen. That did not sit well with your boy Griever, that we off-screened Hawk's defeat and he was defeated that quickly. Because we saw guards even rush forward when they heard the commotion. And Hawk intentionally infuriated him during the fight, saying, oh, you wanted to kill me back then. I felt your presence all damn day. You're the ones whose eyes have been on me the whole time. You're a sword master, blah, blah, blah. He goes, is it because I found out about the poor condition of the king that you want to attack? And then he made him furious, bang, 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 and knocked him out. I was really worried about this for a time. But then, right, like the next page, Ki-sok even says, he's like, well, Ki-sok, all right, well, I'm in the jail cell now, so why don't you give me some information? He's like, are you saying that you purposely got caught just so that we could, meet and you could, ask these questions? And he goes, well, I wasn't exactly going to get this information standing still, was I? And I'm like, all right. So regardless what your position is, Hawk clearly, number one, caught off guard. Number two, not wanting to kill this guy off the bat. He's got no reason to, really. And number three is that he was trying to be captured. So he wasn't all in anger, Thunder Beast mode, like, I'm going to kill him. Like he was when he saw soo-won and awa and stuff like that. It was like, I'm going to kill him. And then he beat the shit out of jae-ha. He beat the shit out of everybody. The dragons couldn't hold him back sort of feeling. That is the thing. We didn't have that Hawk versus this guy. I know there will be different points of views. I know there'll be different opinions on how this fight would have gone. But Hawk's intention was to get captured. Not killed, but he knew he had to be defeated to be captured. So, killing this dude, going all out, and winning this fight would not have, what purpose would that have served? So I was really happy to see that. I was relieved. I was like, they did not just off-screen Hawk losing a fight for the first time in the manga. They did not do that with no good reasoning. When Hawk was caught off guard, that's not his intention, blah, blah, blah. So I was so glad to see where they took this. This chapter was really good at doing that mislead and then jumping into but, think for yourself, reader. What did Hawk mean by that? Like, well, I wanted to, it's implied that he wanted to be captured, so he didn't go all out. That's the implication. That's what I'm going with. I don't know what you guys are going with. Let me know down in the comment section down below. However, this conversation between Ki-sok and Hawk sounds like he's sort of given up here, but I think I don't think he had any intention of like laying down and letting him cut his head off, Hyori, letting him cut his head off or anything. He was going to be like, all right, well, let's just try this, you think I'm going to go down swinging, or not go down swinging, so to speak. So he asks about the condition. Hawk has already figured it all out. He basically says, you're not going to tell me that it's some incurable illness. Ah, your face tells me everything. You know, is that why he's so weak? So soo-won's days are numbered, blah, blah, blah. Hawk's already figured it out, sharp as he is. Now, he also asks Ki-sok to let the dragons and Yona go about. It's like, they're no threat. I understand your position. I really do. But if they all know the information, it's not going to change anything. You have to let them together, because by keeping them apart, you're actually creating more turmoil than, you know, you're causing way more turmoil than not. So just please let them be together. And also, can you pay me? I've been a foot soldier for a while. Can you, like, where's my paycheck? And he said, well, we'll bury you with apparently like 100 cents, you know, or something like that, like $1. And he's like, man, that's pretty stingy of you. But anyways, that's where Hawk's line of reasoning is. Like, you're going to kill me anyways. So it's one of those, I think it was one of those misdirection things. As I said, had Yona not appeared here at this point in the chapter, I don't think Hawk would have went down without a fight and been like, all right, well, kill me, I guess, whatever. And then we get Yona showing up, right? Because Ki-sok's like, oh, well, you figured it out, so you know we have to kill you. And he's just like, well, yeah, well, let me know what's going on, sort of a day. He's like, well, you figured it all out. You must be happy about this. Here's a key moment, too, that I wanted to mention, is that Hawk has this moment where soo-won says, I'm sure the fact that your days are numbered, the soo-won days are numbered, you know, I'm sure you're really happy about that, or something to that effect. And Hawk doesn't say anything. He looks down. And we all knew that Hawk would react this way. This is what all of us as the fan base, that's what I knew, that's what you all knew, is that Hawk was going to not be happy about this. He was never going to be happy learning about the Crimson Dragon illness for soo-won. He was never going to be happy about it. So we get all that. Then Yona shows up like a boss and goes, let me through. Princess Yuna, you can't. I said, let me through. So once again, we get Super Yona. We get Yona of 200 chapters worth of reading. This back and forth is killing me. This shit's going to give me whiplash. Like, I'm going to need a neck brace by the end of this fucking arc with Yona's character. Like, let's go this way. Let's go that way. Let's go this way. Let's go that way. How many times can you do this to me, people? Like, Jesus. So, either way, ironic. Jesus around Christmas, blah, 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 even though it's winter solstice again and Jesus was born in, like, the summer. Anyways, point is, we're not doing that right now. Is that at the end of the day, Yona shows up, is being a badass, and we'll talk about her character and why I have problems with it again. Of course, we always have to do that every review. We'll do that at the end of the review here, but Yona basically shows up. She's back in her badass form, which I have to appreciate. She's back being a badass. She tells Ki-sok off. She basically says, look, Hawk knows this information now, but you do understand that we're about to go into war. Having turmoil amongst all of us is not good. Hawk's amazing. And Hawk even says, you want me out of soo-won's sight, put me on the front lines. The one thing you and I see eye to eye on is protecting this kingdom. And Ki-sok remembers Hawk raising up his halberd and the whole army going, yes, this is the man we follow. And Ki-sok was very worried about this, that Hawk, the Thunder Beast, is still the general. He's still the man that incites, even amongst the, being a foot soldier for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, has made them love him. He's the Thunder Beast. He inspires the morale of every tribe in Koka Kingdom. So getting rid of him is not a good idea at the best of times. And Hawk even pointed this out in the last war and basically said, hey, it's a win-win for you. I lead your army, I'm on the front lines, and I die. It's a win-win for you. I lead your army to victory, or I get killed. Either way, you get something out of it. It's the same situation all over again. So Ki-sok is not going to argue this point, but Yona brings up an even better point. And this is what pisses me off, and we're going to get into this. Her point is the point I have been making for months. Literally, go back and watch my reviews for months. You kill Hawk. Do you really want to infuriate and have to deal with the wrath and fury of the 4 dragons and me as your enemies. Especially right now. That was her logic. The logic that I said she should be having this entire goddamn time. I'm doing a lot of finger waving and hand gestures this time, but I am that passionate about this, ladies and gentlemen, because this is bullshit. I love it because I was right the whole time. But Yona, where was this goddamn reason I was telling you for this whole year? It was right in front of you. She literally uses the reason why it doesn't matter if Hawk finds out. She can protect him because it's like, if you kill Hawk, even if you successfully do that, through trickery, through poison, whatever. Let's say you don't do a fair fight, and you kill Hawk. That castle is burnt to the ground that night. That's a fact. She knows it's a fact. Hisoka knows it's a fact. Everybody knows it's a fact. Zeno said it 100 chapters ago. You really want us to, we can go take down that castle. We can take down that whole army. If the 4 dragons tried, we can take out any country. He's the one who said it. He's the 2,000-year-old dragon. He knows. So I'm really glad that Yona has come to this conclusion, finally. And it worked, because it's logical. It's smart. It's like, yeah, okay, you can threaten Hawk, but if you ever actually went through with the threat, you're signing everyone in this room's death warrant. This entire castle is going to be down, cinders, nothing left. You won't even know there was ever a castle here by the time we're done with it. And that has been a statement for years of Yona now. We all knew that. You can't harm Yona. You can't harm the little miss, because Hawk and Zeno will literally eat you. And you can't hurt the dragons, because Hawk and Yona will go batshit crazy. And you can't harm Hawk because of the same reason. And Yon thrown in there too. You can't harm a single member of this group, because the moment you do, they literally want to burn down everything. And they have the power and capability to do so. Now, I know I've been ranting about this for like 4 or 5 minutes, guys, but I feel like it's a key point because I've been ranting about this every review for months, and finally it's brought up, and I'm like, yes, I was right, but I'm pissed that it didn't get brought up sooner. Like, Yona's character here is what we expected before. This is what she should have gone to. This should have been her line of reasoning. And it was not. And I know people have made up good reasonings, good excuses as to how she was feeling, why she was feeling that way. And I would argue the problem with that is that she had so much character development leading up to her returning to Hyrule Castle that it's completely out of character for her to then, if you don't want to say she went 180 degrees, let's compromise, say she turned 90 degrees. But she shouldn't have even turned 45 is what I'm trying to say. I'm just using the number game to make it simple, right? At most, she can turn 45. But she turned 180 in my opinion, but even compromising, it's 90, and 90 is double the 45. She shouldn't have even turned the 45. But let's just say, okay, the reasons everybody pointed out, yeah, okay, so she might make a couple of small mistakes, small bad decisions. Not these major idiotic things that make no sense to her character and to her development. And now, I'm glad that it's finally come full circle, that she's here, she's ready to go, but once again, and don't get me wrong, I didn't mind that after everybody left and they figured this out, like, alright, Hawk is going to be a part of the army, fighting South Kai, all this grand stuff, it seems like that's going to be the way. This is the way. And, you know, the 4 dragons are going to be probably involved, I'm sure. Yona saved Hawk, it seems, and Hawk basically berates her for this. They all basically leave because Hawk isn't being executed. He's going to stay there, Minso's going to tend to Hawk's wounds, and he's not going to be executed. Perfect. He's going to stay in the jail cell, though, for a couple days, whatever. For whatever reason. Now, Yona is finally alone with Hawk, and they talk a little bit, and pretty much Yona berates Hawk, Hawk berates Yona for this, that, and the other thing, and in the end, he pulls her close. They have a nice moment. They kiss. It's nice. But behind the bars, they get to kiss and all that stuff, right? And he tells her, like, you don't need to go so far to protect me. I can take care of myself. I'm fine, you know. And I went to these drastic measures because I had to, and you know, it's it's definitely a nice moment, and I didn't mind once everybody left, Yona breaking down in front of Hawk, because Hawk has seen Yona through all the stages of her life, has seen her through her naive stage, her crybaby stage, her angry stage, her sad stage, her everything. Despair, she's seen it all. He's seen it all. And so that's totally fine. And once everybody left, she broke down and said, I can't believe, she starts crying, said, how did I was so worried, you know, that I wouldn't get here in time, that they would have executed you by the time I got here, blah, blah, blah. So she was really nervous. She managed to get this done, which is fantastic. And she didn't show a single sign of weakness during the meeting, but once it was over, she fell to her knees, she broke down. That is within her character. To be strong when she needs to be strong, and weak in front of, but relying on Hawk, relying on her friends, her companions, her current now lover, that it's okay to show weakness now. You know, doing it by herself in a monologue was not helping, right? It was not helping the situation. Turning away jae-ha, turning away Hawk was a poor decision. Now she's doing it right. She's breaking down in front of the people she can trust. And this is great for her character, because I think we're finally done with the weak Yona. Now that Hawk knows about I think this was the worst part of Yona. Hawk not knowing about this secret, Yona knowing about this secret, and trying to overcompensate and basically becoming depressed, giving herself like 3 to 4 mental illnesses and disorders over this little bit of information. Well, all huge, and we understand that, but look at what happened. It's been like 10, 20 chapters, and now we came full circle. The dragons know. Yon is really the only one out of the loop. I'm sure he'll find out. It won't be no problem. Hawk knows, and everybody's still alive. So, Exhibit A. So either way, I thought this chapter was fire. I thought it was really great. I'm so glad that the one weak link, the biggest problem right now with current running Yona, was Yona's character and this idea of protecting Hawk and all this weird shit that she was saying that was totally against everything she said in previous chapters and previous arcs. Now maybe she'll not do that anymore. I'm praying. I'm hoping. I'm not a religious man, but you know, it certainly can't hurt to pray and hope to whatever God would listen that we're finally done with the whiplash of Yona's character. God damn it, I'll need a neck brace if she does it again. So, either way, guys, I think I covered everything. This chapter was fantastic. I think we're finally back to traditional Yona. Hawk and Yona are together again. Probably won't... The whole group's not back together again permanently, of course. We're not going to see that yet. But we're starting to see the signs. There's the budding signs here. Yona is freely going where she wants and shit. She's not taking anybody's shit anymore. She goes where she wants. Minso's there on her side. Jodo's not going to say shit to Yona because he still feels guilty and regret over what happened. Hawk's going to be fine now. The secret's out. All the members know other than Yon, but I'm sure he'll find out eventually and then it won't matter again. We still need the talk between soo-won and Hawk, but I doubt we're going to get that this arc because this chapter. That's not a bad thing because it's such a hype moment that the fan base is going to wait for, that we all want to see. I think that we've had enough hype, we've had enough greatness, and with this big reveal that Hawk is now going to lead the army and stuff, I doubt him and soo-won are going to have much time to talk, especially since part of the reason that he was attacked in the first place was because you knew your life was forfeit the moment you got within a certain distance of the king. And you went and did that anyway. Because even though soo-won didn't notice and Yona noticed, the other people also noticed that it was Hawk. Hawk was the one right there. He was within striking distance of the king. So that's part of the reason too. So I really doubt, I think there's going to be, that's why Kisok is leaving him in the jail cell, extra security, whatever, right? Either way, this was a fantastic chapter. I thought it was way better than the last chapter. I don't really have many complaints. Yona's back on form. She's using my reasoning. Hawk and Hyori, I don't know how, it's Hyori had a clash finally. Hawk and him, you know, seemed to come to blows, but Hawk wasn't trying too hard, but he had to try hard enough because he was like, damn, this dude's strong. But he didn't say, I can't win or anything. So, and he intended to be captured. So we got a lot of excitement here and a lot for people to talk about in the comments and the fan base for a while until January. So this is going to be really exciting. There was a lot of great stuff here. There really was. Hawk has finally figured it out, and I think that's a sign of relief for all of us. I think we all can just... Hawk knows. Finally, the worst thing to happen to the story of Yona, a secret being kept from Hawk, is finally done. It's finally gone. Why this was such a bad part of Yona, I don't know. And I don't mean overall. I just mean that this part, because every other scene per chapter, there always seemed to be something to remind you that, yeah, Yona's not acting like herself. The dragons aren't acting like themselves. Nobody trusts each other. Everybody seems to be weak of heart and no strong will, no strong mind, no strong heart. Everybody's frail, everybody's weak, everybody's like sitting there like, oh my God, what if they find out about this? What if they find out about that? Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Ah! You know, that's what everybody was doing, right? I gotta fix my hair there. I didn't intend to do that. But anyways, not that it looks the best anyways. But that's how I felt the last like 10 or so chapters was going for characters, for jae-ha, for you know, Hawk has been consistent, soo-won has been consistent, but we have people like Yona, the main character, acting that way really puts a damper on a lot of the arc. But now I think that the secret is out. It is such a sigh of relief for the rest of us, for the fan base, for this to go down. So anyways, this review is probably going like 35, 40 minutes by now, and it's probably way too long. So I'm just going to end it here, guys. I probably missed a couple of things, but don't forget to mention them down in the comment section down below. If you want my thoughts, I'll be sure to try to get to those comments as quick as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. As always, it's always very much appreciated. Also, don't forget to drink responsibly, as always, as of course you know I always do. And one last quick thing before we go. Shout out to Miss Content, who has tripled my subscribers in less amount of time. That dude is awesome. He's a great friend. He's on some of my streams. He's in my Discord and stuff. He started his own channel. He follows Jujutsu Kaisen, which I just currently started reading. He does Shumatsu no Valkyrie. He does Chainsaw Man. He does another one, something Omega, that I'm not familiar with. But either way, it's his birthday today, guys. It's his birthday, so happy birthday to Misk. Happy birthday to Misk Content. Definitely go check out his channel if you follow any of those series. He makes some pretty great content, and his videos are much shorter than mine, so he gets right to the point. He doesn't go off on tangents like your boy right here. So either way, guys, there's my shout out for Misk. Happy birthday, man. And like, comment, subscribe. I already said that part. Yeah. All right. Drink responsibly. We'll see you guys back here next time for chapter 202 in January. Looking forward to it. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, everyone. To all the Yona fans and subscribers. This is for you guys. We'll see you in 2021.